All right. How many of you here are purely from the HR professional background? I'm hoping everyone. I'm just checking. I just need to make sure I'm in the right room. Okay. So good morning, everyone. My name is KarFei. As you can see, KarFei. I am the resident coach and head of learning and culture of Mindvalley. What I do in the company, it's really 80% of my role involves in coaching. What that means is that I help people, I help team members in our company to be the best version of themselves. What I do is, I'll talk about that later. I have two presentations today. So I'll talk a bit more detail about the coaching part on my second presentation. But in general, I do a lot of coaching internally. 80% of my time is spent on coaching, leadership coaching, career coaching, life coaching, hypnotherapy, neuro-linguistic programming, everything that you can think of to help our team members. But the other 20% of my time is spent on workplace culture. What that means is that I help to govern the culture of the organization. I help to govern the sets and rules and standards of how the company should perform and should be like. And as Anya has mentioned, Mindvalley was voted the top 10 best workplace in the world by the ENG magazine in 2012. So we have gone through a lot. And today what I'll be sharing with you is the 7 steps. 7 steps to build a raving workplace culture that you can start doing anytime after this. Okay? So if you want to get ready, so just make sure that you have pen and paper, because today I'll be sharing the 7 steps and 21 actions that you can take or start doing to implement in your organization so that you can transform and build a raving workplace culture. Does that sound good? Perfect. So before I go into the 7th step, this presentation actually it's adapted from our CEO's presentation, Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mindvalley. And this whole Mindvalley culture started off with one very simple question. So Vishen is a good friend with Richard Branson. How many of you know Richard Branson? Great. So in person, amazing. So Vishen was partying with Richard Branson in his island, in Necker Island. And so, I mean, when you are there, you want to make sure that you make full use of your time with Richard Branson, right? A person who runs like 300 companies, who manages tens of thousands of employees all around the world. So Vishen ask him one simple question, is that what makes you such a successful entrepreneur? What makes you such a successful business person who can start multiple businesses at the same time? And this is Richard Branson's answer. It's all about finding and hiring people smarter than you, getting them to join your business and giving them good work, and then getting out of the way so that they can do the best work. So that they can do their best work and so that you as a CEO or as a founder of a company can focus on the big vision of your organization. So what does that mean? Essentially, today's presentation, it's really about this. It's about how to attract and build teams of committed individuals to rally around a vision and make your business thrive. See, workplace culture would be pointless and fruitless if it's all about happy employee, but your bottom line is not improving. Your profit, your revenue, your business, your impact. We all run businesses because we want to drive an impact in the society, in the world. The software products that you create, the services that you provide, the products that you want people to use are all meant to solve a problem. And you want that impact to be created all around the world. So today's presentation, as much as I'll be teaching you about how to create a workplace culture, it's really about rallying your team. Be it a 10-person team, 100 people, 1,000 people, the same techniques can be used. Okay? So a little bit background about Mindvalley. How many of you have heard about Mindvalley before? Okay, great. So this wouldn't go to waste. So Mindvalley is on a mission. We are on a mission to touch 1 billion lives. And our goal is to provide transformational education to people all around the world. And what we meant by transformational education, it's simply education that you need to succeed in life, but you were never taught in school. How many of you were taught how to start a business in school? None. How many of you have been taught how to build a great relationship? None. How many of you have been taught how to build great relationship at work? None. But how many of you could agree that these are the few things that we are doing right now every single day to find fulfillment and happiness? Almost everyone, right? So that's our mission. Mindvalley's mission, it's really about helping people to create happiness and fulfillment in their lives. We have built our own technology to help people to achieve that. So if you go and Google about Mindvalley, we have a couple of technology that we have built in-house in order to provide transformational education. Our technology has proved to be better than softwares or platforms such as Udemy, Coursera, Khan Academy, and so on. Our success rate of people completing a program is 500 times better, 500% better than Coursera and Udemy. I'll share with you a bit more about that later. So these are some of the apps that we have. And we also run live events. We also bring in a small group of curated people into live events where we teach about personal development and personal growth. And we also have live events in Russia and around Russia, in Russian-speaking countries. I'll talk a little bit about that probably at the end, or if you want to know more, you can ask me after the presentation. So this is our office. And all this great achievement that Mindvalley has been doing and has done couldn't be possible without the people that we work with. And let me start with a quick survey. How many of you in your company has more than 5 nationalities in the same office? More than 5 nationalities. Okay. How many of you have more than 10? Okay, still have. How many of you have more than 15 nationalities in the same office? We have 2 left. Great. How many of you have more than 20? Yes. So this is our team. Something is wrong with the projector. Can someone check it? The color is off. Yeah, the color is off. Can someone check it? So this is our team. How many of you can guess how many nationalities we have in this office in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia? 50? 30? 40? 100? I wish. If 100, then we are probably better than United Nations. It's actually 49. We have 49 nationalities in the same office. And everything that Mindvalley is doing right now is not possible without the culture that we have, the culture that we bring into the company, and the way we operate. So let me tell a bit. So this 7 step that I'll be sharing with you today, it's applicable for every single one of you. I know some of you might be thinking already, you know, Mindvalley is a big company. You have 300 people working for you from 49 nationalities. You guys are too big. My company is probably too small to implement any of these things. My company is probably, you know, I don't have a CEO that is like visionary. I don't have a CEO who believes in people and so on. But these are 7 steps that you can do no matter the size of your team. These ideas will work with teams, community, schools, companies, or small businesses. And this is something you can practice straight away today after you leave this conference. I've been giving keynote speeches like this to many, many conferences in Asia and in Europe. And I've always told people that my style of presentation is that if you don't leave the room today with one thing that you can do, I have failed. So I promise you, these are the things that you can work and use in any teams. It applies to you even if you're in a larger company, if you're in a small team, if you're a solopreneur, making your first hire, or if you're building any sort of tribe. For example, HRAPI is really building a tribe of HR community and HR professionals. These are the same thing that's applicable to building a community and a tribe. So you want to take note about the 7 steps and the 21 actions. So before I start, I just want to share with you one thing that we call the rules. Okay, it's called the rules. This is a term coined by our founder, Vishen Lakhiani, in this book, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani. We also have this book in Russian. I would highly suggest for you to check it out. So rules are basically bullshit rules that we adopt to simplify our understanding of the world. So essentially, it's a lot of rules that we have in our mind about workplace, about culture, about employee, about running a company, about running a business, about relationship, that it's limiting us from actually living a better life. So today we'll be talking about a couple of rules in the workplace. I can talk about rules in a lot of things, but today let's just stay in the workplace where we talk about, building great organizations. So we'll be looking at perks. What are perks in organizations? What are the kind of perks that we want to provide to employees or team members in organizations? We talk about employees. We talk about, what are the rules among employees that they have that's limiting people from, performing their best at work. We talk about culture, and we will also talk about workplace behavior. What are the kind of behavior that are actually rules? It doesn't make sense anymore in the world that we're living in today. What are the rules in the workplace behavior that's stopping people from, having a relationship in the workplace and things like that, okay? And we'll be touching that a lot more. So to start off this presentation, I just want to let you know a little bit about the nightmare that led to Mindvalley and led to where we are today. So Mindvalley was started back in 2003. So we have been about a 15 years company. Not too young, but not too old either. We are still really innovating and growing a lot. So it was started in New York City by Vishen Lakhiani in this little place in Times Square. Just so you know, his office is not this one. His office is this. So that is actually an office where Mindvalley started back in 2003. And it was, before Mindvalley took over this place, it was actually a Thai massage parlor. And I'm not sure if you're too aware, Thai massage parlor means dodgy stuff. And Mindvalley took over the place and started Mindvalley there. But unfortunately, right after that, it was 9/11 in the US. The whole thing about World Trade Center and so on, it was 9/11. And unfortunately, Vishen is Malaysian. And the country that I come from, Malaysia, we are kind of like a Muslim country. So when the president in the US started the whole watch list thing, unfortunately, Vishen got into the watch list. What that means, the watch list is actually a group of people who are being put in the list where every 30 days, you will have to go and report to the immigration. They will look at all your credit card details so that to make sure that you're not buying things that you use to make stuff like bombs and all these kind of different things. So he was on that list and he got really, really, really frustrated because every 30 days he would have to go and report himself standing under the cold for like 7 hours just to queue and get in and to do all these things. And the worst was he can't even get on a flight without a 2 hours interview just because he was on the watch list. So it was a pain for Vishen and for Mindvalley as a whole. And then it was then that he decided that he wanted to pull the business out of the US. He wanted to move out of the US. So at that time, he has two options. Option number one is Estonia, because his wife is Estonian. So it's kind of like, easy way in. Second is to go back to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, because he's Malaysian, so it's easy for him to go back to his home country to start a business. And that was what happened. So he decided at that point to bring the company back to KL. And there are two challenges that he faced and people have been talking about it when he wants to bring the company back to Malaysia. Number one, it's that all clients, partners, and vendors are all based in the US. Even right now, majority of our partners and so on are based in America. And number two, brain drain. So in Malaysia, we have this problem where our smartest brain in Malaysia leave the country. They leave the country to go to Singapore, Hong Kong, Europe, US, UK, to get better job employment, better job opportunities. So people were telling Vishen, you are crazy. Bringing Mindvalley back to KL means that you won't have the right talent or the smartest talent, right? So that was a big challenge for Vishen, but this is one thing that the company and the Mindvalley fully believes in. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing reality obsolete. What does that mean? Vishen made it a point that he wants to build the world's greatest workplace in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. And these are the results. We have one of the best offices in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in Southeast Asia and in Asia Pacific. And these are just some of our offices, you can see. This is our team during Female Appreciation Day. This is the day where females are being appreciated with spa, massages, flowers, chocolates, kisses, hugs, and things like that. Basically, they are being pampered for the whole day. They are the queen for the day. Okay? So we have 150 people, more than that, from 40 plus countries in Kuala Lumpur. And we have people from all around the world. If you go to YouTube and type Mindvalley cover letter, you will see literally thousands of videos of people wanting to join Mindvalley. And they're from all around the world. And this is our team in our previous team retreat. And these are the group of people who are rallying around a shared vision. A shared vision, the people from 49 countries coming in together on one thing, which is to bring humanity forward. And this all started with $700 when Vision started Mindvalley. And right now we're at a valuation of more than $100,000 million. No VCs, no bank loans, and here are just some of the myths. So this is the picture of our team. I'll quickly go through, and this was our team back in 2005. You can see the big difference, you know, the laptops, the computer, the books. This is our own auditorium where we have our all hands meeting. This is it back then in 2008. This is our new office. This is our office back in 2005. We all second-hand furniture, we don't even have a proper desk. If you look at this one, we don't even have nails to put the pictures on the wall, right? This is our Christmas party. This is Christmas back in 2003. We don't have employees, we only have cats and dogs. This is our diner, and this is our diner back then, 2005. So these are all the successes that we have created, and today, this is what I'm going to share. I'm going to share about that 7 steps to attract amazing talent and build a powerful culture, okay? We'll go really quick on this. Pay a lot of attention. Write down all your notes. If you have questions, you can ask me after, okay? So step 1, it's about attraction. How do you attract people to rally around your mission? How do you rally people or attract people to want to be part of you or part of your organization? See, this is a typical job ad. I know you probably have seen. So the first one right here, it's in the US, and this one is actually Maxis. It's a Malaysian company. It's the second biggest telecommunications company in Malaysia. They are a $1 billion company, and look at the job ads. It's so freaking boring. And let me show you so this is why typical job ad sucks. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do. You have heard of this from Simon Sinek, the power of why, right? So appeal to the why. When you're creating job ads, are you appealing to the person's why? And this is our job ads. Let me tell you, in order for a person to apply for a job to join Mindvalley, they will have to go through at least 4 pages of our Mindvalley manifesto before they can click apply. See, this is counterintuitive. If you talk to UX designers or software companies, they'll be like, you want people to click on the button as fast as possible, but not for us. We have been receiving so many applications right now that we need to filter our applications. We need to make sure that people who join us really believe in our mission. So we started off with this manifesto technique. So our website, if you go to careers.mindvalley.com, you can see we have pages of manifestos. We have pages of what we as Mindvalley believe in. And if you don't believe in the same thing, you should not apply. Okay? So for example, we have this. Does our mission excite you? That's one part of our careers page. We have the manifesto technique. This is the old one that we have about 10 years ago. It's like really old websites. But right now, it looks like this. See? This is our Mindvalley manifesto and 8 beliefs of the future of work and how we believe in the future of work and what this means for people joining our company. We put it right up front. We want people who are into personal growth. If you have not been reading books about personal growth in the past 1 year, Mindvalley might not be the place for you, right? So we have 8 manifestos. This is one of them. We are not an American, not a Malaysian company. We're an Earth company. We don't believe in nationalities. We don't believe in religions, organized religions, but we believe we are a global community, right? We innovate rapidly and making exponential change. We believe in happiness is the single most powerful tool of productivity. We stand up for what we believe in and so on. So there are 8 points. If you want to check it out, you can check out our website. See, that's the reason why people joined us, even if you have a shitty office like this back then, right? And really go to seek the underlying emotion. See, people look for a job for multiple reasons. We shouldn't think that people are looking for a job right now as the same as people who are looking for a job 10, 20, 30 years ago. Things have changed. But the question is, has our HR policies changed? Not so much, right? So what we really, really want from a job are very simple. These are the 4 things based on thousands of interviews conducted by our people and culture team in Mindvalley. Growth, happiness, meaning, and abundance, right? So these are the 4 quadrants. So that's step number 1, creating attraction. Step number 2, finding the right fit. So you probably have talked about this a little bit. So how do Mindvalley find the right fit for our organization? So well, we believe it's really in hiring for attitude and training for skills. We hire people who don't have a university background or a certificate. We hire people who don't have the exact skills to do the job, but they have demonstrated excellent attitude in their past experiences on learning fast, innovating quick, taking responsibilities, and all these kind of different things. So we hire people who have that kind of attitude and then train them for skills. If you have a certain level of attitude, you will be able to learn really fast on the specific skills and competencies, right? So seek the best people that you can find, and most importantly, you have to keep the bar of awesomeness. So we call it the bar of awesomeness because we just like the word awesomeness. No reason, but it's just awesome. So we call it the bar of awesomeness because we want to maintain the bar of people joining the company. See, if you have people who are lower down at the bar of awesomeness because you are desperate to hire, they will pull down the company, right? And they'll pull down the people in the company. So the number 1 thing that you have to do is to have an incredibly high bar for talent and never compromise. I know in HR and people and culture, sometimes hiring it's important. You need to make sure that you have people to do the job, but never compromise. Make sure that they are part or they are higher than your bar of awesomeness for your organization. So these are some examples of how we do it. So we have certain limits of the bar of awesomeness, and anyone who falls below it will need to go directly out. So this is kind of like part of the Jack Welch from GE, principle of 20% of the bottom of the people should leave the company. So a certain level of turnover is actually healthy for the company. So the question that we really always ask is, will this person raise the overall bar of awesomeness within the company? If I hire you to join Mindvalley, would you push other people in the company to do more, to be more, and to achieve more excellence? So these are some of the video cover letters. Just to show you, these are people who put in a lot of effort just to join us as a company. And let me just show you this video.
Hi, I'm Tanya Lopez, and this is my video submission for the world's most awesome job. Where are you shooting from? I can see it in your camera. I think that this position is a great fit for me for so many different reasons. One of them being that it aligns perfectly with what my professional experience has been so far.
So this is one. She has been with us for 7 years before she left to start her own business. This is the next one. Let me tell you, this video was done almost 10 years ago. And think about it, 10 years ago, you don't have the technology to build video like this, like instantly. This person got hired. This person spent 300 hours to create the video. Yes. Right now, we have an app called Hyperlapse. You can do all these lapse thing in like, I don't know, an hour. Back 10 years ago, you have nothing like that. She spent 300 man-hours to create this video and she was hired. So these are the kind of attitude that we want. And that's the reason why right now in Mindvalley, our hiring, we don't take CVs in the first step. The first step for you to join us is to create a video cover letter. And we have done a bit of research based on statistics and so on. 100 resumes equals to 1 videos. We shorten or shrink down the number of resumes that we receive every single month, because we believe that we want quality applications. We are not looking for random CVs that people just click send, and you get it and you have to filter. So that helps us to kind of like really streamline the way we work, and also to cut short some of the time our HR takes to process certain applications. So this is our customer support team 3 years ago. And one thing that you might not realize, there are 15 people in this picture, and they're all from 15 different countries. It wasn't done on purpose, it just so happened. Okay? And we were rated the best in Asia for customer support because of this group of people that we bring in. See, this group of people actually moved from all around the world to Malaysia. Some of them even earn in USD, but they decided to take the pay cut to come and join Mindvalley and work in Malaysia. See, we don't compete in salary. We'll never be able to because we're not as multinational companies. We don't have VC funds, we don't have loans and anything for us to be able to burn our cash. So what we compete on? We compete on our mission. We use our mission to attract people from all around the world to be part of us. Step 3, establish a common code of values. And this is something that everyone probably aware of, but these are just the 3 common values that brings not only Mindvalley as a company, but Mindvalley as a community. This includes our customer. People who come to us, buy our products and services, they believe in these 3 core values that we believe in. First one is unity. As I mentioned earlier, we are an Earth company. We are not like a Malaysian, American, or whatever company. We believe as one. Unity is core. Second is transformation. What we do is that we help people to transform their lives. And most importantly is envisioning. We envision the future that's better for our future generation. We don't envision a future that's bleak, that it's not empowering and not fulfilling for us. We want to create a future, a vision that is empowering and fulfilling for the human race. So these are just some of the artwork that we have in the office about our values, transformation. So this one is our employee. This is also our, this is actually Christina, Vision's wife. And we also have our code of awesomeness. So these are the 10 code. Again, you would have realized by now we use a lot of awesomeness, so get ready for more. This is our code of awesomeness where it really looks at the top 10 behaviors that people should abide to in the company. We use this as part of our interview. We also use this to really make sure that people demonstrate a certain level of integrity within the company. All right? Your values will help you to speed up decision making. That's given. And one of the things about finding a value, I find in a lot of companies is that a lot of values came out because it's a buzzword. Innovation, innovative, or collaboration, communication. Whatever words that your company is using or any company that's using, it sounds good, it sounds nice. But what's the true essence in it? See, great values in any organization is only as powerful if it comes from the past pain that you don't want to suffer anymore. The reason why unity is a core of what Mindvalley is because Vision was discriminated because of the watch list back in the US. And he believes that no one in the world should suffer the same thing. That's the reason why unity became a core part of us. And also because we have 49 nationalities in the office. If unity is not part of us, we can't work, right? So in summary, the first 3 things that you can start doing is number 1, create attraction. Create job ads that appeal to the heart, appeal to the why. Find the right fit, hire for attitude, and seek the best. Third, establish a code, your values, and live by them every single day. So the next phase, right after attraction, what's next? It's your culture. Once you have attracted a group of people, how do you keep them? How do you maintain them? How do you retain them to be part of your organization, extremely motivated and excited to keep going? So this is step 4. Remember this one that I showed you earlier? So these are the next four steps we'll be talking about. So the first one we're going to talk about is happiness. See, it turns out our brains are literally hardwired to perform at their best, not when they're negative or neutral, but when they're positive. So the question is, how are your organization creating a positive working environment for people? Optimistic salespeople outsell pessimists by 56%. Students who are primed to be happy outperform their neutral peers. And this is crazy. The next research is crazy. Just think about it. Doctors who are happy make accurate diagnosis 19% faster. And let me tell you one thing. How did this research make the doctor happy before going into a diagnosis? It's really simple. What happened is that they have 2 groups of different doctors going in to provide diagnosis for their patients. And the first group of doctor, before they go into the clinic or before they go in for the diagnosis, they are actually given a lollipop. They are given a lollipop for no reason, just because, I just want to give you a lollipop. And according to the research, they make 19% more accurate diagnosis. Think about it. This is about human lives. This is about, your life. And if doctors are happy at providing diagnosis better, what about your team member? What about your company? So then the question is, what makes us happy? Is it really big, fluffy stuff, buying a new car, new home, new handbags, or new travel that makes us happy? How do you create the happiness in the workplace? And the first one is by creating social connections. So this is the Very Happy People study by Ed Diener and Martin Seligman. Social support was a far greater predictor of happiness than any other factor. What that means is that in Mindvalley, a lot of things that we do, we aim to create social connection. We want people to be friends in the workplace. We want people to talk to each other every single day. That's the reason why we have different parties, we have team retreats and so on to help to build that. Even if that means bringing people together to create massive Game of Thrones team party in Croatia, or team retreats in beaches and tropical islands in Malaysia and around Southeast Asia. And this is us flying the whole company to a beach. And if you can see in this picture, people who are not smiling, this one, well, that's it probably. They are probably the only two who are not from Mindvalley in this picture. Obviously, Mindvalley people are generally happy people. We laugh and smile all the time. So, from the book Good to Great, the people we interview from Good to Great companies clearly love what they did, largely because they love who they did it with. It's because they have a good friend at work, they have best friend at work. That's the reason why they enjoy doing what they do. Friends at Work study, Gallup has found that close work friendship boosts employee satisfaction by 50% and are 7 times more likely to be fully engaged at work, just by having a friend at work. Second is to form positive contagions. Studies have found that when leaders are in a positive mode, their employees are more likely to be in positive mode themselves. This is the reason why when people are having negative moods in the office, we ask them to go home. Don't come to the office. If you are going through, breakups and things happening in your family, don't come to the office. Stay at home, work from home, because we don't want that negative emotion to spread to more people in the company. We also organize culture days because we want people to really be happy with each other. So this is our Estonian culture days. This is Malaysia Day. This is India Day. You can see all the saris and colorful saris. This is our Latin Day. This is our America Day and so on. So the ripple effect is very important. The ripple effect here is that happy people make other people more positive, more happy. That will eventually drive team performance, group performance, as well as individual performance, right? Or make up your own culture day. In Mindvalley, we have Female Appreciation Day, we have Male Appreciation Day, equality. We also have Tash and Heels Day, basically people coming with mustache, high heels. I don't know who created this, but never mind. See, that's Vision, our CEO. So we have our culture days to make people happy. And last but not least is to infuse love in the workplace. So what happens when we make love part of your job description? What happens when for one whole week, your role in the company is to love someone else in the company? This is what we did.
So here at Mindvalley, 5 years ago, we decided to try an experiment called Love Week, where for 1 week, love becomes part of everyone's job description. Employees are secretly paired up with other employees, and for 1 whole week, they have to be a secret angel. For 1 week, they lavish. They are human.
That's what happened throughout the whole week.
Gifts,
productivity goes down. But people are happy.
This is what happens on Love
And then the next week, they come back up. So Love Week happens on Valentine's Week every year. So for the whole week, someone else will be paired with another person to love that person. You'll be an angel for someone. You'll be an angel for a human. Of course, you will have an angel too because you will be a human as well. What happens is that throughout that 1 week, people will be, see, the key here is not about the gifts that you receive. The key here is about you understanding your colleague. Because you'll be getting a human that you probably don't know. You'll be getting a guy who's like a techie, extremely introvert, who doesn't talk. You'll be like, shit, what do I do now? What do I give this person, right? So you start to think, you start to understand the person. That's what happened in the whole Love Week. So people who have best friends are 7 times more engaged in their job. And last but not least, for happiness, invest in your environment. This is just some of our spaces in the company. Let me just share with you, a lot of companies talk about spaces where they put in foosball, beanbags, free coffee, cafes, bars, and so on. Those are great perks, but does that help you to solve anything? Mindvalley's workplace is designed in a way to create social circles. It's where places like this, where people can just come together and start talking, chatting about their lives, about what's happening in their life. A lot of spaces in Mindvalley, it's open, in that sense that people can start talking and so on. So these are office spaces, really open. So in summary, for happiness, 4 key things: social support, create opportunities for people to connect; positive contagion, spread good moods within the company; infuse love by practicing Love Week. If you want to do this, just go to Google Mindvalley Love Week. We already have a guide on how all companies in the world can practice Love Week at the same time, okay? And last but not least, invest in your environment. So we have 3 more to go. Second one is on growth. So growth is a core element of the company. And for us, we really help our team members to grow because it's extremely important. And this is what we call the goal setting redefined. And this is where you might want to pull up your handphone, because I would love for you to download this app that you can use straight away in your company for all your employees. But before that, let me just explain it to you. So goal setting redefined for us is really, really simple. The 3 most important questions. These are the 3 most important questions that you need to know about your team member. Number 1, what are the experiences that you want to experience in life? Okay? Number 2, how do you want to grow as a person in order to experience all these experiences in your life? And number 3, how do you want to contribute to the world? These are the 3 most important questions that you need to know about your team member. See, these are some example of people who have done their 3 most important questions: experiences, growth, and contribution. You want to become a world-class speaker, right? And in this event, where he is not supposed to be a speaker, we shouldn't give him a chance to speak on stage. And he got voted the best speaker out of every single person who are paid to speak on that stage, right? This is Luminita from Romania. She created one of the most viral personal growth posts in history and got a book deal worth 30,000 euros. And essentially why this 3 most important question is really important is because this is the blueprint for the soul. If you are able to understand your team members' 3 most important questions, you know what will hit them in their heart. You know what will hit their soul. And you know what you need to do in order to make them happy. So this is where I want you to download. So this program is free. We are giving it for free for all companies, every individual who want to make this. So if you want to do this with your team members in your organization, go and download the Mindvalley Quest and download this program called Extraordinary by Design by Vishen Lakhiani. So this is the program. We also have it in Russian. If you want Russian, we also have it in English if you want it in English, okay? So what you need to do is just to go to mindvalley.com/quest and download it right now. Or you can go to your app store, Apple or Google, just type Quest, Mindvalley Quest, you'll be able to get it, okay? It's free, you can do it anytime you want. So for summary for growth, 3 core elements: experiences, growth, and contribution. I'll touch a bit more about growth in my second presentation later. That's where the most important part is. Third one is meaning. We are all human beings, are goal-driven mechanisms. We want to move towards certain goal. We want to feel what we do has a meaning, right? And this is part of what Richard Branson said. And here's the main thing. You must make them see their work as a mission. So how do we do this? Gallup study on men who retired at 80, 86% of people keep working because they found their work fun. 93% kept working because they found their work meaningful. So we know if you give meaningful work to your people, they will be more likely to be engaged and stay more longer in the company. But the biggest problem is most people is that their problems aren't big enough. Every single day, your team members or your employees are going to work thinking of small little problems. They're thinking of, how do I check off my to-do list? How do I prioritize my tasks? They're thinking about, the relationship or the challenges that they have with their friends or their social life and so on. So those goals are not big enough for them to find meaning in their work, right? So what problems are you trying to solve with your company? One of the best person who do this really well is Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure you know Tesla, SpaceX, the Boring Company, basically everything that's really visionary right now. This guy has done it all, right? And in the research in Silicon Valley, the people that people look up to the most is actually Elon Musk, because the work that he does is really, really meaningful. Why would his team tolerate his obsessive behavior? He's known to be a micromanager, right? People know it. But people are willing to go and work for him. Why? It's because his vision, his mission is amazing. It's big. It's about bringing humanity to Mars. It's about creating a second planet for human to live, right? So the question is, how do you be an inspiring leader? And this is a quote from Professor Sri Kumar Rao, one of the best MBA professor in Harvard, and one of the 7 videos on TED Talk that is not part of a TED Talk. So his talk is so good that TED put it up without inviting him to be part of a TED Talk. So he said, don't try to be inspiring, instead be inspired. What does that mean? Be inspired simply means stand for something. Whatever that you do, stand for something. And you might be asking me, KarFei, we are building a tech product. How inspiring can it be? How can we stand up for something? How many of you have seen this one before? How many of you have seen this ad on Facebook before? A few of you. So this is about a guy who runs a small laundry business. What happened was that he posted these things. If you are unemployed and need an outfit cleaned for an interview, we will clean it for free. How can a laundry shop have such a noble mission? He stands for something. He believes that by helping people, homeless people, to wash their clothes, they will have a higher chance to get an interview. They will have a higher chance to get a job. How many of us can think that way? How many of us in our company can look for something and stand for something? In Mindvalley, we stand for unity. We don't believe in American. We don't believe in being a nationalistic company. We don't believe in being a Malaysian company, Estonian company, whatever company. We call ourselves an Earth company. We want to make the world a better place, right? So instead of trying to be inspiring, be inspired. Stand for something, okay? And last but not least, in meaning, what we do is mission reminders. What we do is that we have this blog called Customer Love. What happened is that customer can send us feedback and their testimonials to Mindvalley and so on. And some people said that this is being done because we want to increase sales, but it is not. The reason why we created this Customer Love from Bollywood stars or from really people who have done great stuff, and we receive all these letters from our customer, it's for our employees, not for our customers. Imagine your employees reading all these things week to week in their job. How would they feel? Right? So in summary, for meaning, be inspired, create mission reminders, and remind your team why they do what they do. Okay? And last but not least is on abundance. And if you know abundance, it's really a lot about financial compensation. It's about how do you have financial abundance in your life. And in Mindvalley, this is something that we realize that abundance is actually not what people are looking for. Abundance is a means goal. It is not an end goal. Abundance is a means towards an end. People want financial abundance because they want to afford something else. So what we found out then is that what's the most important fourth thing? It's significance. See, we can't compete on salary alone. People reject offer from Google and come and work in Mindvalley. Obviously, it's not because of a salary. We can't pay like Google, right? But we realize they're looking for significance. Significance means being appreciated, being highly significant in their lives and in the workplace. And one of the things that we do a lot is called the frequent appreciation practice. Like flower flourish on water, people flourish on praises. So this is the technique, what we call the 2-minute appreciation. What happened is that there is a study being done on this. A company actually doubled their revenue within a year after practicing this. So there's an interview I'm going to go through after this. You can watch it. So what happened is that this 2-minute exercise is very, very simple. What they do is that they ask the managers and the leaders of the company, every single day when they get into the office, the first thing that they do is not to turn on the computer, it's not to check your email. It's to pull up your phone, put a 2-minute timer, take a post-it and appreciate someone in your company. 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes. All of you are leaders on your own right in your company. Would you be able to spend 2 minutes to say thank you and appreciate someone who has done something for you? 2 minutes. It's all it takes. So this is a study.
Make a choice, but it requires some effort on our part, and I think it requires effort both at the individual
Can we
level, but also
push up
I
the
think for
volume?
those of us that own companies, those of us that lead other people. I think that we have not just a moral obligation, but a business obligation to make sure that the people on our team are in a positive state. I think at the individual level, one of the things we found huge success with is we started having individuals each day. The managers oftentimes would lead this, but what we'd have people do at Facebook, what we had people do at Nationwide Insurance in the US, we had them every morning when they got into work, the very first task they had to do for 21 days in a row was to write a single 2-minute positive email praising or thanking one person that they know. Simple 2-minute positive email. So it could be something as simple as, thank you so much for helping me with my work yesterday. Or it could be something meaningful like, you're the reason why I come into work each day. You're my best friend here. Or it could be, thank you so much for covering for me when I had so much work going on the other day. But in each one of those moments, what that person is doing is they're actually they're providing praise to somebody else. And if they do it for 3 days in a row, they get addicted to it because they think how amazing they are for writing that email each morning. But the real value, and people start writing emails back about how grateful that they are to that person. But the real value is 21 days later, if we come back in and test the group that does it, if somebody did it for 21 days in a row, it turns out that their social connection score is in the top quartile of social connection. So a simple 2-minute habit each day moved them exactly where people wanted them to be within these studies, which leads to not only levels of happiness, but promotion, productive energy, sales, all the things, every business outcome we know how to test for. So we did this in Nationwide Insurance. We were working with the president of Nationwide Brokerage Solutions, Gary Baker, who said he was a numbers guy. And he said, I thought happiness research was fluff, until we showed him the numbers and what we've been doing at these organizations. So he allowed us to do this intervention with his team. We did a couple interventions, but they think that this was the most powerful one. Over the next 18 months, they had a 50% rise in their revenue, which is crazy. 237% increase. Yeah, right. That's the incredible part. 237% increase in their application rates. Google flew out to see what they were doing. Their pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, so that's what happened when the 2-minute appreciation is being done. Google flew down to check out the company to see what they're doing. And it's really simple. It's 2-minute appreciation that any leaders in the company can do. And it costs you nothing. 2 minutes, literally. Don't need to pay for it, no money involved. Just get 10 leaders in your organization to start doing a 2-minute exercise for the next 21 days. You will see a massive change. And next but not least, unexpected gifts. So this is the most powerful single idea here that I want to share with you. The reason why I emphasize on you downloading the quest to work on the 3 most important questions is because of this. Your experiences and your growth and contribution. This is the most single important idea. See, this is actually Vision's checklist. These are a list of things that he gets from other people's 3 most important questions. For example, you can see some people want to have LGBT day in the office. Some people want to go for skydiving. Some people want to meet Simon Sinek. Some people want to run a marathon. Some people want to speak at TED. So as a team leader or as a founder of a company, if you know these are the things that your team members are looking for, certain things can be as simple as buying a book and give it to that person. Now think about it. How would it make you feel if your CEO come to you one day and tell you that, hey, this book is for you because I know you want to speak at TED? How would that change the way you would work with me? It will literally change everything. You will trust your CEO more. You will believe that your CEO actually cares for you. And it is true. When the CEO cares for you, when the team leader cares for you, you are more likely to be engaged and more productive in the workplace. See, Gallup study on 10 million employees. People who agreed were found to be more productive, contributed more to profits, and were significantly more likely to stay in the company long term. when they answer to the question, my supervisor or someone at work seems to care about me as a person. If you have anyone who cares about you, or if you care about your team member in the organization, they are more likely to stay, more engaged, and more productive. And we all know the business goal that this would bring. Rise in revenue, applications, and so on and so forth. Last but not least, the all hands meeting. I know you probably know about all hands meeting. Happens once every week or every month. Different companies do it differently. In Mindvalley, we do it every week. Once every week, every Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. And because all hands meeting, it's so boring, we decided to call this the Awesomeness Report. So what happened in the Awesomeness Report is we talk about awesome stuff. We talk about things and celebrate things that's really important for the company. First, it's that we celebrate victories. What happened is that we celebrate everything that we have done in the past 1 week. We talk about the achievements, we talk about the successes. We also talk about the failures, because we believe that certain projects that we try and test and fail teaches us something new. So we wanted the company to know what we have learned, what we have done differently, so that we all learn from each other. So this is how we celebrate, high scores and whatnot. We also have what we call the Bell of Awesomeness. This is only to be rung in moments of true and utter awesomeness. You have to be done like the best. It has to break all records for you to ring the bell. We also do gratitude. So what happened is that in that 1 hour, people come on stage to give gratitude to people who have helped out in certain projects. We all know, if you're in software company, if you're in a tech company, a lot of developers are underappreciated. So this is where we talk about our developers, our people in the operations, like to really appreciate them for the hard work that they've been doing for the company. This is just some of the feedback or love from our customers to our team member. And last but not least, the reason why this is important is because the studies on memetics and social contagion. Evidence show that we inherit and transmit behaviors, emotions, beliefs, and religions, not through rational choice, but through contagion. So we know that if we talk about victories, if we talk about gratitude, it will affect other people to behave in the same way. So this is how we want to raise the bar of awesomeness in your organization. Second is to envision the future. And this is part of what Mindvalley CEO Vishen Lakhani does really well, and the management team. See, the role of the management team is really to talk about the vision so much that before they start talking about the vision again, other people will already know what's happening. Like, you want your team member to feel as if, oh God, they are starting again, to talk about the vision. That's what's going to happen. This is important because you help people to find meaning in what they do. And we do this every single time in our all-hands meeting. So our Awesomeness Report creates happiness through celebration, growth through trainings, opportunities to reinforce meaning, and the feeling of significance by being recognized and celebrated by people in the company. So in summary, for significance, it's appreciation, unexpected gifts, and rethinking your all-hands meeting. So in summary, these are the 7 steps that you can do and 21 different actions that I've talked about that you can do differently in order to transform your workplace culture right now. Okay? And our goal in Mindvalley is to create the world's greatest workplace by 2020 in a developing nation. We still have 1.5 years left. I think we are doing pretty much on track, but of course we are always envisioning the future. We are planning to remove 50% of our company to work remotely from Estonia because we believe the world is changing. The future of work, it's not about having an office in a specific location. It's all about having people from different places and working in different places as well, right? We still have a long way to go because we spend 70% of our waking hours at work. 70%. You probably spend more time at work with your colleague than actually sleeping on the bed with your partner. That's a fact. So how are we able to create an impact on employees through our workplaces? And these are just some of the examples of our employees in the workplace. See, everything that we do is not only to bring Mindvalley to a greater height. It's about helping our team member to be the best version of themselves. And that's what I do as a resident coach in Mindvalley. These are some of our famous employees. This guy is our web designer. He appears on Malaysia's biggest TV. This is one of our head of UX, ex-head of UX. He runs a community of UX and tech people in Kuala Lumpur. This is Kylie. He right now manages 500 startups. If you're in the tech industry, you know 500 startups, the venture funds based in the US and all around the world right now. He manages as part of the managing boards of 500 startup. He's employee number 11 in Mindvalley. These are some of the people on different publications. These are some other people as well. This is me. I'm featured on Huffington Post, one of the biggest online publications in the world. We have Martha featured in one of the biggest HR magazine in Malaysia and Asia. This is actually Gautam speaking in the TED Talk, TEDx. And one thing that I'm really, really proud to talk about is that I dare say that in Mindvalley, we have the most number of TEDx speaker in one company than any other companies in the world. At this point in time, we have 19 people in Mindvalley who were a TEDx speaker, me included. 19. I don't think there are any other companies who have 19 TEDx speaker in the same company. So we also have him again being brought to LA for a Adobe UX conference. So these are just some of the things that happens in our employees' life. And bear in mind, I have not talked anything about companies, return on investment and whatnot. What we believe that when we help our people to thrive in their personal life, our company will grow. And our company has been growing significantly in the past 3 years. I'll talk a little bit more about that in my next presentation on growth. But as of now, these are all the things that you can start implementing in your workplace to create a raving workplace culture. Okay? That's my email. If you want to write to me, if you want to speak to me, feel free to email me. And I'm happy to chat if you want anything. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll see you later.
And we have couple of minutes for the questions, right? If you have questions in Russian, please also ask in Russian, we can translate.
Yes, thank you so much for the really inspiring presentation. I have a small question. Regarding how many people do you have in your HR, marketing, or employer branding team?
Employer branding team.
Or you have several teams, or like in general, how many people work on culture and with human resources?
So we call our HR team the people and culture team. So we manage both sides, the people and culture. So in people right now we have Martha is our head of people, so she oversees the people operations. And under her, we have one HR generalist who manages all the HR admin stuff, and we have 2 recruiters. So these 2 recruiters, one of them manages the employer branding, about 50% of her role, and then 50% is on recruitment, and then another full-time recruiter. And then me and another colleague of mine, both of us, 2 of us, are the resident coach and workplace culture specialist. So both of us do 80% coaching and growth, 20% on workplace culture, simply because we work directly with Vision on culture-related issues. Because culture is comes directly from the founder. So he is very much invested in terms of his time and energy and resources. So we work directly with him. And our head of people and culture manages everything. So I think right now we have about 9 people in the team. We also have another team called the Office Experience. So Office Experience, we have an office manager that manages everything about the office. We want to make sure that our office is the best workplace for people to work. So he manages the office, and we have 2 IT guys who manages remote working, our IT technology, infrastructure, setup, and so on. So in total, probably about 11, 12 people. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for inspiration.
Thank you. I think we have another question here.
Thank you very much again for the very interesting presentation. And there is one thing that I could not mention. The pictures of your people are very beautiful, very colorful. All of them are smiling. All of them really good looking. I don't know how you hire them. Maybe this is one of the hints who to hire. But I do not see much age diversity. Probably, I don't know, maybe this is the situation in Malaysia, or there is something else.
Age diversity?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really good question. We have that question like a couple of years ago. So when Mindvalley started, we hire really a lot of young people, simply because generally older people are not willing. So 2 reasons. Number 1, generally older people are not willing to move out of their country, to move to Malaysia and take a pay cut and work for a young and growing company. So that's a challenge for us in the beginning because we were starting, we were young. So people, like older people generally just doesn't move because of the pay cut. And because when you are older, you're already probably earning a lot more. So your pay cut will be like more than 50%. So it's a big challenge to move them. So that's the first reason. Second reason is because back then, Mindvalley was on a growing stage. So we were hiring a lot more generalists, people who, you know, like have no core skills, but they can just come in and learn and do everything. So that's what happened in the beginning of a stage. But right now, actually in this picture, we actually have more people on the older stage. Right now, our average age of the company, still not too old, it's about 31 years old. Average, because we have people who are like 20 years old, who don't have a university degree, drop out, but they're really good in what they do, so we hire them. We also have people who are like extreme specialists, who are like, has been working in Wall Street for like 10 to 12 years or something. So they came. So there's a big difference, but on average right now it's about 31 years old. We have moved from, I think previously it was like 26, 27 to 31. But of course, I think this would go according to, you know, the trajectory of where Mindvalley is heading to. The more we grow, I think we'll be hiring more specialists to be like placed in different teams. So that's the reason why the age diversity is not too big in the company.
Unfortunately, we have no time for asking questions right now in the big audience, but we have a break, so you can guys just jump in.
Yeah, if you have questions, feel free to come to me. Yeah.